We are in our first match. We are on the draw. Our opponent has mulliganed to 6, and we have an interesting decision. So we can play Marsh Flats, fetch a Blood Crypt, play Faithless Looting, and then hope to see a second land. If we do draw a second land, we can play a Young Pyromancer or a Lightning Helix or a Terminate. We can also discard a Young Pyromancer, which also lets us be able to Kolaghan's Command back a Young Pyromancer, so it ensures we have a target for the second mode. I don't really know. This hand feels very odd. I kind of want more 1 CMC stuff for Pyromancer, and I might be crutching a bit hard on Faithless Looting, but I want to keep it and see, I think. Especially against a 6. I feel like there are enough... We have enough of the things we're interested in doing. We have Young Pyromancer and Instants and Sorceries. Well, Instants. Okay, opponent kept... Square to the bottom, plays a Cavern of Souls. And I'm assuming we're going to figure out what deck our opponent is on after they find Human. Okay, so probably ban Humans. His hand feels okay against them, but not particularly impressive. Okay, we found our second land. I also have Sacred Foundries. I'd forgotten I had Sacred Foundries. That's probably important that I remember I had Sacred Foundries. We found a Sacred Foundry. We could hold the Faithless Looting and play Sacred Foundry tapped. Hold it for the Young Pyromancer, so we can play Young Pyromancer on turn 3 and then Faithless Looting. I feel like it's quite likely that we play Lightning Helix next turn. Kolaghan's Command feels pretty good here, but I'm pretty interested in just like powering through the deck and finding a bit more cheap interaction. And I think it's likely that our Faithless Looting finds us a 1 CMC spell. Also, our opponent's going to be like, what the hell's going on? I don't think we want a second Kolaghan's Command. And I think that a second Young Pyromancer is also unnecessary. This deck, I don't think this deck runs that much interaction. It's like 4 paths and that's it, right? So, while I'm interested in grinding, I want to hit my land drops, and I want to play my cheapest interaction spells. So, these two can go. So opponent didn't have a 1-drop in their 6-card hand. Scratch to the bottom, I believe. Yes. So now, I think it's relatively likely they don't have anything particularly exciting to do. They might play a Thalia's Lieutenant now. Ooh, black. Kite Sail Freebooter. Well, isn't that interesting? It is a human. It's a human pirate. Kind of like Brain Maggot, I guess. It's got flying. Gets pumped by your lieutenant and your. Do they have any other pumpers? Oh, I guess they have. It pumps the champion of the parish. Okay, took Lightning Helix. That makes sense. I'm probably not very interested in spending Terminate on this. It's very possible. I guess I can still terminate it, unless they play another Kite Sail Freebooter, but then I think that's okay. So what's the worst they can do? They could untap and play Reflector Mage, bouncing my Young Pyromancer. That seems pretty bad for me. But not the worst. I do fall quite far behind, though. So the choice is between playing Young Pyromancer or Terminate, or maybe even just playing like a Marsh Flats with the intention to fetch a tapped Blood Crypt. I'm not really sure I like any of those lines. I don't really want to terminate this. I want to Kolaghan's Command it. I feel like that's the best way to deal with this. If I'm going to Kolaghan's Command it, I want to play Young Pyromancer now. Even if I get blown out by Reflector Mage, I think that's fine. And I don't really want to use any of my fetch lands yet. I can always fetch a swamp if I want to preserve my life total. I guess you could also path this, but again, I'm kind of okay if he doesn't play to full tempo next turn. Well, he might have a bunch of 2-drops in his hand. Seems not unlikely. This seems like a pretty interesting choice. Like, you can play it against Storm and stuff. Ooh. I don't know what I'm going, ooh, this card's just like a good human, right? So far we're playing against 4-color humans. Thalia. Okay, Thalia makes my life a bit harder because I can't call it its command now. I have to terminate this and then Lightning Helix the Thalia. Opponent might have a collected company. I do feel like the match is starting to turn against us. If we're going to fetch a basic, we probably want to use the Marsh Flats because this can fetch everything in the deck. This is a better land than this. Yeah, fetch this. I think I don't actually want to kill my opponent's Thalia until he basically shows me he's not going to play. I guess I'm not going to kill his Thalia, though. I'm going to kill the Kitesail Freebooter, most likely, with this. Unless... I mean, I guess I could kill Thalia with the Terminate, and then Colligan's command this. I guess I have the choice if I wait. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Let's just wait. I don't feel like our opponent is putting us under an enormous amount of pressure. We have the cards to come back from most of what they're doing. And the scariest thing they can do is Collective Company or Thalia's Lieutenant. Thalia's Lieutenant is pretty scary, but I feel like we have a lot of ways to recover from a Thalia's Lieutenant. Okay. No 4th land from opponent, so I'm more interested in killing Thalia now. No blocks. We take 4? We take 4 over 13. Go to the end step without playing a 4th land. Okay, still no 4th land. Gotta play a card. Okay, this is Reflector Mage, that makes sense to me. So I guess we're gonna kill the Thalia in response to the Reflector Mage. Does that make sense? If we kill Thalia, does it let us actually do stuff? I guess we terminate Thalia, get this back. No, we get this back later when we Colligan's command this. Just kind of gate everything a bit awkwardly. Yeah. Okay. I just want to kill Thalia, I think. I can get this Lightning Helix back, I think. Certainly with the Reflector Mage. I think I'm going to have mana to be able to kill this, even if he Lieutenants, so... Yeah. So if we're going to do that, we want to do it now. Before the Pyromancer comes back in our hand, because that seems pretty poor. Yeah, we just want to get the 1/1 value. Because this also... In this matchup, I think we're using Pyromancer to keep our life total relatively high. So we can play a Faithless Looting, possibly discarding this other Faithless Looting. We can also hold the Faithless Looting for Young Pyromancer. It will allow us to get a lot of 1/1s. Yeah, and we're most likely going to be shocking the Kitesail Freebooter. What we could also do is shock, shatter the Clue. But I think that's a bit aggressive. I think if our opponent spends mana to make the Clue, we're in a reasonable space. So again, we're just going to wait. The ideal is to fetch this with this tapped, I think. Our life total matters. Not enough for me to chump the Reflector Mage with the Elemental, but enough. I also don't think that the 1 here matters. I think I'd rather have the opportunity of seeing what they do before I command this. I guess they could be playing counter spells. I don't think they are. I think that sounds pretty weird from them. Yeah, okay. Draws a card with the Clue. Plays another Thraben Inspector. And not a 4th land. It's kind of bad our opponent... It's kind of good for us our opponent isn't drawing a 4th land. Obviously, yeah, we want to shock and disentomb. Yeah, it's obviously good for us in some ways that our opponent isn't drawing off a 4th land, because they don't get to do the very scary things that they can do. Thoughtseize is interesting. Basically, Thoughtseize is asking us the question of how low we want to go. They don't really have any burn, right? And we have this Lightning Helix, and we do have 2 Young Pyromancers now. And we're going to end up with 2 Elementals if we just Thoughtseize them. Okay, I'm going to Thoughtseize them. I think I'm interested in Thoughtseizing. Yeah, our opponent has 2 Collected Companies and a Kite Sail Freebooter. Kite Sail Freebooter does have the problem for us. So there's 2 problems. So Kite Sail Freebooter has the problem of being a flyer and probably being cast and taking our Lightning Helix, which is going to be a problem. But Collected Company has the problem that we can't really beat 2 of them, I don't think. We might be able to beat 1, but 2 is going to be tough. So I think I'm going to take the Coco and then keep track of the fact that he has 2 Kite Sail Freebooters in his hand. Okay, now we're going to... Maybe I should have drawn the Faithless Looting first, I don't know. Lingering Souls is pretty good, but we can also discard it if we want. I think I'm going to discard this Faithless Looting. I think Lingering Souls is going to be pretty useful. I don't want to resolve that many more Faithless Lootings right now. I don't want to. I want to resolve as I just want to resolve as. I just want to get as many souls as possible. I feel like that's the way that we stabilize the game. So we need our opponent to miss on a land again. I think the best possible scenario would be them cracking a clue and missing on land. But I don't think they're going to do that if they don't have a 1-drop. I think that would be pretty odd. Yeah, okay, alright. So if I don't miss a land drop, I'm going to Kite Sail Freebooter us. Which is okay. Probably take Lightning Helix again. These Cocos are still kind of a threat. Because our opponent can hit things like Thales of Tenant that makes their stuff really hard for us to kill with all of our damage-based removal. He did draw 1-drop, and that 1-drop makes mana. Okay, so we're being Coco'd next turn if we don't draw a removal spell. Man, okay, Reflector Mage is now bigger. We can triple block and kill the Reflector Mage if we're interested in doing that, because we can then play in a Lingering Souls next turn. Doesn't feel that great. I think I'm more interested in just chumping, rather than trying to go for a triple block. Actually, that makes much sense. Forked Bolt is pretty good. How do we want to go about using it? So probably going to cast Lingering Souls and Forked Bolt this turn. Pretty interested in killing this. We could also cast Forked Bolt on this and then Lightning Helix on this. Everyone just has a Collected Company then. This is still kind of a threat, but the fact that Forked Bolt doesn't kill this very efficiently makes me want to use it on this. Also because this is a flyer, everything else we can chump with Pyromancer tokens, but... Yeah, let me Helix this. Then we pass, and hope our opponent doesn't draw land for their Coco. They did draw land for their Coco. It's okay. Now they have no cards, except that aren't Coco. They'll probably Coco us end step, and they're not going to swing. That's definitely good for us. Well, they're going to Coco us now. I feel like if they were going to do that, they probably should have done that main phase 1. I feel like they don't really get much payoff for doing it now. Thales of Tenant, okay. Just 1 though, not the dreaded 2. Everything is a little bit bigger. A little bit harder to deal with. Okay, we can Lightning Helix the Thales of Tenant. Which leaves us with... So we can go Pyromancer, Lightning Helix the Thales of Tenant. Gives us a lot of tokens. I think I'm interested in doing that, because then we're probably going to try and finish the game with Lingering Souls tokens. and we have a reasonable life buffer. And we can start flashing back Faithless Looting if we start drawing dead. Opponent still has a lot of mana and is effectively drawing 2 cards next turn. Although, unless one of them is a land, he can't, like, draw and Coco. Unclaimed Territory. I wonder if he's running this instead of like, if he's running less Cavern of Souls because this is like significantly cheaper, or if this is like just in addition, you just want more Cavern of Souls. Jumping is attractive, but not that much so. Pretty interested in killing the Reflector Mage, which is a big boy, and then probably killing this. And then just taking the 4 and dropping to 7. This is pretty bad against, I guess, a removal spell on a token. I don't even feel like it's that bad there. So now our opponent's left with just 2 Thraben Spectres, nothing else. And then our opponent concedes because they recognize that we're just going to take over the game. Okay, so our opponent did have a lot of non-basic lands. In fact, our opponent appeared to have almost no non-basic lands. So I do feel like a Resolved Blood Moon is pretty game over. We don't really have that much else to bring in. We've got like Fatal Pushes. I'm interested in Fatal Push, and I'm interested in Blood Moon, and I'm not really interested in anything else. Blood Moon feels kind of weird against these aggressive decks, because I can't really turbo it, but I still think this is interesting to me. And I'm not really interested in playing Swift Spears. I feel like their stuff just beats Swift Spear pretty hard. Reveler is also less impressive to me, but it may be interesting. Everything else feels okay. Forked Bolt has the potential to take out like 2 Hierarchs, or a Hierarch and a Pilgrim. Thoughtseize is less impressive. Do we want that? It can take Collective Company, which is probably their best card in the matchup. Maybe we shave 1. No, I think that might just be wrong. Our life total. I don't think our life total matters enough. Maybe Burst Lightning's bad. Maybe Faithless Looting's bad. I don't know. This whole matchup feels a bit weird. Dreadbore feels a bit medium. I'm pretty interested in trading a Dreadbore for a Fatal Push, definitely. Maybe Colligan's Command's not that necessary. Maybe Bedlam Reveler's not that impressive, actually. Yeah, let's drop 1 Bedlam Reveler and then bring in these 4. I'm not sure if Blood Moon's right. I could see keeping in like a Swift Spear and a Reveler instead of bringing in the moons, but Swift Spear just seems so medium. Like it's just so hard to keep it big. This hand is pretty easy as a decision, and I think that decision is going to be to mulligan. This hand is not bad at all, and we're going to keep. And scry a Forked Bolt to the top, I think. Opponent almost certainly has a Dork. Or a Thraben Inspector. Okay, that's not necessarily as important to kill immediately. I don't feel the need to like kill on sight a Thraben Inspector. I am going to go ahead and just play a bit as if I'm Shadow. So we have a Kambal Consular Allocation, which we currently cannot kill, and 2 Reflector Mages. Our opponent isn't going to do anything next turn unless they... Well, I guess they're going to crack the Clue, but that's not particularly impressive. The fact they have double Reflector Mage makes me less interested in taking a Reflector Mage, because if they're not playing Reflector Mages when I don't have creatures, then okay, that's great. I'm like they're not advancing the board, and I'm the control. Kambal seems pretty hard to deal with, so I'm going to take Kambal and leave them with 2 Reflector Mages, 2 lands, and kind of hope to draw a spell that can kill Reflector Mage. Forked Bolt is slightly worse there, especially when their Thraben Inspector draws, which is basically just rubbish. Play the Unclaimed Territory, has a Rising Canopy. Lots of ways of cycling through his hand, actually. Can see lots of new cards. Okay, Bedlam Mardu currently costs 7 mana. I'm kind of interested in Forked Bolting here, just to kill this, because while that is pretty miserable, I want to get this guy into play. Because even if they Reflectomage this guy, I feel like I'm in a reasonable space. And I don't really want to just play Young Pyromancer and then have it get Reflectomaged, especially if I'm paying life for it. I probably want to fetch a Sacred Foundry. Okay. Opponent now has 2 unknowns, and is about to go up to 3 unknowns. Hallowed Fountain. Okay. I think if I'm opponent and I don't have another 3-drop, I'm just playing Reflectomage. I can't see a situation where I'm not just playing Reflectomage out if I don't have anything else to do on turn 3. And the fact that he shocked this Hallowed Fountain means that he is intending to play a 3-drop, I guess. You might have Spell Queller in the deck, which is interesting. Okay, opponent plays out a Reflectomage, that's good. One less Reflectomage. We're now in a scenario where it's possible that we could dodge both of them. Lightning Bolt is a card that kills Reflectomage, but unfortunately we don't have a 3rd land. I guess what we're doing is passing with the intention to bolt the Reflectomage. But we're probably not going to bolt it immediately, because it's not the most threatening thing he can play. So if he plays a Thalia's Lieutenant, for example, while that does make Reflectomage pretty hard to kill. Actually, if he plays a Thalia's Lieutenant, we're definitely bolting the Reflectomage, because we don't want to bolt the Lieutenant. Why isn't this an instant? Can't be so good. Kitesail Freebooter. Now there is a reason. I guess you could take the Forked Bolt, making me use the Lightning Bolt, but then that's really bad against the Kolaghan's Command. I mean, this resolves, definitely. If we Lightning Bolt it, I think he still gets to look at my hand. Stupid Forked Bolt, why can't you be an instant? You'd be so good as an instant. If we just bolt the Reflectomage now, then Freebooter is choosing these 2, neither of which is particularly good, because if we do draw a land, obviously Kolaghan's Command is really good against this, because we can kind of shock, discard. I guess he's going for my opponent will not draw a land line. Or he's going to have... Yeah, there we go, Thalia's Lieutenant. Which makes my life pretty hard. Because now even if I do draw a land, it's possible Thalia's Lieutenant gets out of range of Forked Bolt, so I have to like shock this. A Lightning Bolt would probably be the best draw here. Oh wait, no, I can't shock this. That's also bad. Okay, this Blood Moon's looking pretty bad. Opponent has 2 cards in hand, one of which is a Reflectomage. On the one hand, I don't really want to just play a Young Pyromancer. On the other hand, I cannot see a scenario where I am playing anything other than Young Pyromancer this turn. And this way, if he does have something like Coco, or he wants to spend his mana in a way that isn't playing Reflectomage, this encourages him to play Reflectomage, which also makes it more likely that he doesn't play 2 humans in a turn, and so therefore doesn't pump the Thalia's Lieutenant twice. Okay. This is beatable, although more Lightning Bolts are required to beat this. Because now we're in a situation where I think just shocking this with Kolaghan's Command and making our opponent discard is not particularly impressive. Well, we did draw the land, so we can do that. We're probably going to fetch our basic Swamp because we have a Blood Moon. Just slamming Blood Moon here, though, feels pretty bad. It does mean our opponent can't make his Thalia's Lieutenant any bigger. But this being flying is actually very relevant. I think I'm just going to fetch a basic Swamp. And just straight away Kolaghan's Command. Discard. Shock. Because I'm probably going to end up doing it in the beginning of combat anyway, because I want to save the life because it's actually very relevant now. And I don't want to give my opponent the chance to, like... I'm just going to do it in response to them playing any creature either. So I don't want to give them the chance to, like, have a Collected Company and go to combat, swing, I have to shock it then, and they Collected Company me and blow me out. Anafenza. Well, that is interesting. I feel like the fact that we don't have a Wrath of God in our deck puts us at a very big disadvantage. Anger of the Gods even would be quite good here. How many instances of sorcery do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this guy costs 4 mana? Yeah, that seems like more mana than I can pay. I think I don't really want to show him that I'm a Blood Moon deck, and I have nothing else I can do, so I'm going to concede. Let's go Freebooter. Really doing work. Dreadball looking a bit better there than like Forked Bolt. Forked Bolt looked pretty miserable. I mean, Burst Lightning might be... Burst Lightning be instant would actually have been really good. Maybe we don't want Forked Bolt. We do want a Dreadball. Maybe we don't want Collins Command, actually. That was the card that looked the most awkward. If this had been a Dreadball, we probably would have been pretty good. Okay, I like that swap. Let's go to game 3, see if we can pull back on the play. Opponent busy deciding hard how to sideboard. It's tough. It's tough in these collected company decks. If we lose, then Ariel Axe will be incredibly upset, and I hates the humans decks. So, you know, that's that. We just gotta not lose. I'm gonna keep this hand. Again, it has a Faithless Looting, and can fetch probably a Sacred Foundry, because we have a white card in our hand. Because we also have a black card in our hand. And we can discard this white card if we fetch a Blood Crypt. I mean, yeah, okay. I'm gonna get a Blood Crypt. And play a Faithless Looting. Discarding this guy. I kind of want to discard the Blood Moon, but at the same time I really don't. Maybe we're discarding the Pyromancer. Actually, maybe we're discarding Forked Bolt, because we maybe have enough removal. Yeah, okay. I'm on board. We're kind of interested in flashing back Lingering Souls, but also kind of not interested in doing that. It's also very possible that, especially if our opponent does this, we're just playing like a young Pyromancer next turn. Blackleaf Cliffs makes me pretty interested in just playing a young Pyromancer. So yeah, we can just play young Pyromancer. There's nothing much he can do about it, and then next turn we can play our Blood Moon. And then I think our opponent can't really cast spells. I guess if we're going to do that, we want to actually flashback Lingering Souls. Because we can cast Young Pyromancer after the Blood Moon, but we can't cast Lingering Souls. Well, obviously this is really terrible if our opponent plays a basic forest is kind of bad. Non-creature, non-land. Okay, so he can't actually take us off a removal spell, but he could take us off Blood Moon, so we don't play it next turn. The basic forest seems pretty bad for our opponent. I don't think there's that many green cards that they can cast. I think they're actually pretty priced into taking Blood Moon here. Yeah, there we go. So then we're gonna play Young Pyromancer. I don't think getting in for 2 is that relevant, and I'd rather just hold up Burst Lightning / Lightning Bolt for potentially anything else they do. Them having the knowledge of the Blood Moon is so much worse. Like now they know about the Blood Moon, life is so much harder. Because they can fetch basics, although apparently they have no fetch lands or more basics. I guess if they have a basic in hand, they'd probably play it later. Chosen creature type is bird. What card could they possibly... Huh. Well, that is interesting. Birds. Oh my god, Aven Mind Sensor. I'm so dumb. Ha ha ha! I'm so dumb! Oh man! Okay, sick. Not punished. Feels bad for opponent. Give me back that Blood Moon. It's all about that Blood Moon, boys. Even Mind Sensor. What a card. Okay, we probably can't cast this Lingering Souls ever. Well, we definitely can't cast the Lingering Souls ever once we resolve the Blood Moon, but we can't cast it now, so... And I'd rather just make sure our opponent has a really hard time casting spells. An opponent. Okay, so... Also, yeah, if we hit our basic swamp, we can cast it. We have another faceless looting in the graveyard. Okay, opponent appears to have not very much to do. They can cast Collected Company off of the forest, which is relevant. Let's... Faithless looting. Discard Foothills and Souls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not bad. Play this Foothills. Bolt the Mind Sensor. Go to combat. Swing with the team. I believe we can cast this Bedlam Reveler now, which looks pretty scary when we have a Blood Moon and Horde. Haha! Uncastable spells. Man, that opener was kind of awkward, but I guess it doesn't matter if our opponent card casts spells either. Okay, that looked pretty good. Blood Moon looked pretty good against the 4-color humans/birds deck. Oh man, I can't believe that. I almost went so wrong. Oh well, we'll see you guys in round 2.